Today's conversation is with HybridHero. We talked about Paradox Pokemon, the Scarlet and Violet DLC, and I think we even solved the mystery of the Indigo Disk. My name is Dusty. I'm with Soul Silver Art.
What's up?
And the Lumios post.
Hello, I'm wearing my new Team Lumi Hidden Power shirt.
Enjoy the video. Hybrid, thank you so much for being here. Let's start with some speed round questions. We want to know what your Pokemon type would be.
Oh, water. Water,
Easy.
100%. 100%.
Your water?
Yeah. Water for sure. If it wasn't water, I'd go fighting. Just because I think the diversity in fighting types is pretty cool, but water for sure.
Dude, I
So
saw
would it be
you.
water fighting or just pure water?
Pure water. Pure water.
Okay. Well, our follow-up question is what your hidden power type would be. You get any type. Any type is a hidden power type.
Let's go electric. Let's go electric.
Oh, that's sick.
Smart.
That's sick.
Yeah, might as well.
So what are your
Yeah.
top 5 favorite Pokemon?
Dude, I just did this like favorite thing the other day, but I still don't think it's accurate. You know what I'm talking about? Like on Twitter,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
the whole grid. But then I'm like, dang, like so like here, like for example, it says Annihilate was my favorite ghost type because in the ghost thing, it's you know whatever. But I have Skeledirge and Fire, but Skeledirge is definitely like I like Skeledirge over Annihilate. So like.
You
I don't
gotta
know,
fit
man.
it. You gotta set it up so like you're not missing any of your favorites, right? So you can almost double up on types.
Yeah, that
Right.
didn't happen. That didn't happen. But like, I got top 5 favorite Pokemon. That's a hard one, man. Okay. I got Blastoise here for sure. That's number 1. You got Chinchino up there too. That's for sure.
That's surprising. Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Blastoise and then Chinchino. I love that.
Yeah. It's debatable between Chinchino and Minchino. I'm just gonna say Chinchino though.
Right. I usually count the lines when I say these things.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm doing, right? So
Yeah.
like, I think Blaziken is up there, and then I'd go probably like, maybe not Torterra, maybe Gardevoir. I don't know.
I like that. Gardevoir is a great
Those are Solid
Pokemon.
picks. Solid picks.
The internet ruined it, but Gardevoir is so good.
But I don't even know if Gardevoir would be number 5. I'm just looking at this list and I'm like, maybe, because I would like I love Gardevoir, but is it a maybe top 10? But I have no idea who else will go in top 5. So we're gonna say Blastoise, Chinchino, Blaziken, Torterra, Gardevoir.
Let's go. That's a pretty good lineup. I guess actually at this point, give us a 6th Pokemon because then you have a full team.
You're putting me on the spot, man. You're putting me on the spot. Skeledirge?
There's 1,000
I don't
Pokemon.
know.
You should be able to capture
I just saw
a couple.
Skeledirge on that list pretty high.
But counterpoint, Dusty. There's 1,000 Pokemon, and I have to pick only 6. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go Suicune.
Ooh.
Nice.
Normal
Nice.
Suicune.
Yeah,
Yeah.
normal Suicune.
All right. We'll ask you later about Walking Wake.
Yeah, I know people have strong opinions of Walking Wake here. I'm not gonna say who, but I know someone does.
Let's save it. Let's just save it for a second.
Yeah.
Bro, so what is your favorite Pokemon game? I think this one's really telling.
Oh, this one's easy. You've never heard me gush about Black and White? I love
I don't think
Black
so.
and White.
Let's
No,
go.
Black and White is hands down. See, I think Scarlet and Violet's coming close. It might even be one at this point, but we'll see until DLC comes out. But Black and White, I think gameplay is fire. It's so
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
smooth,
It's
fast.
quick, bro.
Yeah, it's quick. I think it has the best story, best ending to any main series Pokemon title. Like, that thing goes hard. And is the supreme character. He's the rival, the villain, the champion all at once. And I think this was the first time I really enjoyed like the revamp of having a whole new decks with not being able to use old Pokemon. I thought that made for like you're forced to try something new, and I thought it was really cool. I was one of those people who at first like, it's kind of whack, but then I played through it. I'm like, this is great. You know, and I just think Black and White, like, it hits. The music hits, the gameplay hits, the Elite Four, the champion, everything about it. I think it's 10 out of 10. I like it more than Black 2 and White 2. I know that's most people prefer
Yeah,
Black 2
a lot
and
of
White
people say
2.
that.
Yeah, I know most people prefer Black 2 and White 2, but for me, Black and White supreme. Scarlet and Violet's coming close. If the only thing for me, and I guess we'll talk more about this later, the only thing for me is that I feel like Scarlet and Violet's story was like all put together like 2 hours in the end.
Yep.
And like I feel like there's so much more potential, and I think that will be touched upon. But I'm also a little nervous. I'm like, I don't know how the DLC is going to cover it. We'll talk about it. If the DLC can take care of it properly, it will be top. Because I can replay Scarlet and Violet like no tomorrow. which I can't do with Black and White. You know what I'm saying? Black and White, I can play through it a few times. It's a great, amazing. Scarlet and Violet's replayable. I think the story is like there, but like not there yet. So that's all.
Yeah. Well, let's actually just get into it because we do want to discuss and get your thoughts on Scarlet and Violet in general. We've actually been sitting with the games now for a couple months. We got announcements of DLC, which is exciting. What was your experience with Scarlet and Violet?
I mean, I played through it technically 3 times now. And
did you do any like challenge runs?
It's a lot.
Yeah. I played through it the first time normally, and then the second time it was just shiny only. And the third time I used like Ash's Kalos team. The video's not doing that well, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. But
we'll put a link down below.
No, it's all good. but it has been it was pretty good. Let me talk about like my first time playing. I really like thoroughly enjoyed, and like it was really cool to see how like it was an open world experience. I think no matter what, like even though there's no level scaling, I really enjoyed the fact that you can take it on in any order you want, because I walked into Grusha like at like 5 gym. He's the 5th gym leader I walked into. And that man asks you, are you sure you want to take me on? I'm like, yeah, why not? And then, and I'm like, oh snap, he's meant to be last. But like, like, there's a lot of surprise factors, and I think just the overall mechanic of, not mechanic, but like the overworld and like you running around and like seeing all these Pokemon, it was really cool. And I really think they got everything. They got raid battles, they got the Team Star raid battles with like a Titan boss, they got regular Titan fights, they got gym leaders, they got everything they needed. And I think the cast of Nimona, Penny, and Arven's very, very strong. And it's just really fun. The gameplay loop is just really good. Like it's not PLA. Like I think PLA still has probably like the most like
that's the gameplay loop that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think it still has the best gameplay loop, but I think this is a good combination. Or a hybrid. Ooh, good hybrid of
roll credits.
A good hybrid of both PLA and like the other main series games, And I think did really, really, really well.
Yeah. Despite the technical difficulties of like the game, or the technical challenges that the games present, like I do feel like after playing Scarlet and Violet and sitting with these for a little while, it does make me want to see other regions or whatever new regions could come after this. In an open world game where there's Pokemon all over the place, right?
Not Kanto.
Right? Yeah.
Not
Kanto. I would even want to see Kanto, right?
Get out of here.
I mean,
if we get a Kanto game from any perspective other than top down, it's going to be a whole new game.
Yeah, you got to think about it like a whole new region. Like it's not going to be like the Kanto which is just like,
because even Let's Go is top down.
Combine it with Johto and Ibn.
Yeah, see, Louis, you might not know this, but I am a Gen 1er still. Like, if you talk to me, like, I love Gen 1. Like, I'm not talking like Fire Red Leaf. I love Red, Blue, Yellow. Like, absolutely love those games. Okay, so I always like. If you listen to the Champion League podcast, they always call me the Gen 1 because I defend even early designs and early game. But I love the glitches in Gen 1 because I'm like it makes for like a really fun time if you ask me.
Right.
It makes.
I see that. I can see that. That's cool. That's a good way to look at glitches too. I think. I mean, in a way, they are memorable. Like while there's the game-breaking ones, like the crashes, and now we have like the whole bug that apparently like corrupts your save file. Those are not fun. But like, look. I'm not gonna lie. I played through the game with my wife, and one of our funniest memories was when her Sprigatito started to evolve, and like it did that whole falling through the map glitch. So Sprigatito's just evolving while it's just falling through like the entire world of Paldea,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely subjective.
But yeah, it's true. But like I think the glitches for me personally added to the charm of Kanto. But then seeing Kanto and Let's Go and like other games, granted, Let's Go I think graphically is still one of the best. But Kanto is such a boring region.
Agree. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like even if we're supposed to get like a different perspective,
it
would be a reimagining though. Like if you think about like Legends, let's say, and like Hisui, it's very different than Sinnoh, obviously.
I'd even argue like Oris versus Ruby and Sapphire.
That's true too. Actually,
that's a decent bit of a difference as well. I mean, honestly, just giving it more Color and Life does something, giving the cities more life. Like one thing I love that Oris did was, sprucing up Mauville. Things like that, and it'd be good.
I didn't like the Marvel change, but that's just.
Oh, you didn't like the Marvel change?
I didn't like the Marvel change either.
Yeah.
Maybe. See, I only had played bits and pieces of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald up to that point. I had never played the game start to finish. I had just played someone else's. Yeah, that's true. Soul hasn't either. But,
I only recently.
Oris was my first experience, so I think that's why I prefer New Mauville.
Okay.
I only recently played, not recent, like maybe like 2019, 2018. I beat Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald like from start to finish. Before that, I could never. It was too boring for me.
I don't understand how it's boring. I used to play Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I definitely played growing up, but then in college is when I would just like binge the game over and over again. Like not at parties, but like I'd be living with like a bunch of guys, and we'd have music on. We'd be doing whatever we do, eating food, whatever. And I would have Ruby hooked up to the GameCube that's right there. I'd have it hooked up, and I'd just like play through the game continuously.
See, for me, that game was black and white.
See, I think Gen 5 and Gen 3 are very comparable when it comes to like the speed that
replayability.
Of how you can play it. Because Gen 2, Gen 1, and Gen 4 are painstakingly slow.
Yeah.
So many different opinions on that. People will say that about Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
And I grew up. I mean, I started with blue version, so it's not like
too.
It's not like I'm like
blue right there somewhere over there.
Yeah. I
Is
keep
it your
pointing.
first blue? Is it the first blue you ever played that you have over there?
Yeah, it's the only cartridge I got. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't peel the
off
of the cartridge.
So you were that kid?
I was that kid. I bite my nails. I'm fidgety.
I didn't peel it off, but like
you had the
enough,
OG Charizard, and you clip the corner so you know it's yours.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you guys at all. But no, it's like it's worn out a little bit.
I think it looks good.
Does it still work? Is the question.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it in a long time, but I think the last I checked, which was a few years ago, yeah, it should work.
I have my original silver cartridge like that too, and I hold it so dearly to my heart, but it doesn't work anymore. I think the battery died in the.
Well, you can replace the battery.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna maybe do it.
Do it, man. It's fun. But so basically all I wanted to say was that I do think there's a lot of charm in like having so many Pokemon in the overworld willing to be, they can all be shiny. That level of immersion is really cool. I think my biggest hang up with SV is that it almost doesn't feel like there's a point to the game. I feel like when I'm in the world, obviously the goal is to, battle the gym leaders. And this might be my own hang up. Maybe I just don't care to like battle gym leaders, or I don't know, but like when I played through the game, I spent hours in just a couple areas, one because I was stuck, but then also because I never really knew why I needed to like go in a certain direction, or I don't know, I just never felt like there was like a purpose of playing. I was playing it and I was still having fun. It could also be that there's just so many possibilities. It's like, there's
I think that's what it is.
Let me just go over here now. Yeah.
The whole game like emphasizes freedom and exploration, so I think it's like if you play Breath of the Wild too, it's like, what are you playing it for? You're trying to beat Ganon for sure, but like who really does? Unless
you have to create those goals almost, Yeah.
But I kind of get it, because like even playing through it again, like the last time I played, I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to play through the game to get to the Sada battle at this point, like so like I think replaying it a few times. It's interesting because I feel like my main Violet cartridge, or my main Violet playthrough, I can still play through that because I have like different goals in mind, to shiny hunt or to like train up Pokemon for like ranked battles, this and that. But if starting a new playthrough, I find that it's a little tedious, because I'm like the star battles take forever. And then the gym challenges, the puzzles or whatever, they're not even puzzles. They're so boring and monotonous. Yeah. So like I kind of get it. Like for me, that's why I'm really banking on DLC to bring something, especially if you're not into shiny hunting or if you're not into competitive battling. After the main story, there's nothing much for you to do.
Yeah. So and I am into shiny hunting. I like to just like travel. Like I literally just walk through the region and I find random shinies, or it's just like fun to like hatch eggs or whatever I'm doing. Like I can keep myself busy. I think you made a good point that the post game of Scarlet and Violet, that seemed to be where all of the exciting story went, right? That's like almost the story that they actually wanted to tell.
I have to bring up something about this. is that the post game? To me,
I don't
that is
consider
not the post game.
post-game.
That
I don't
is not
consider
considered the
post-game.
post.
Yeah, to me,
sure,
post game
it's
will
like-
be gym leader rematches plus Academy Ace
That's
tournament.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I
I'm
consider.
not
End
picking on
game.
you, Dusty, but it's just like I've seen so many people
Yeah.
that just say like, "Oh yeah, the post game," but that was not the post game.
Well, it's
the
like-
post game is like this big, like
because the credits roll after the Sada and Turo battle.
That's
So
true. That's a good
I
point.
never once considered it the post game. I consider
Mm-hmm.
post game like Lumi said. It's literally the gym leader rematches. I guess you fight Team Star as well again if you want to. I never fought them, but then the Academy Ace tournament. Besides that, you're shiny hunting, catching them all,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Catching them all.
ranked battles.
You know
Yeah.
the old term, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
It's not over until Ed
Till-
Sheeran sings.
Since, yeah.
It's not over till you get DMCA'd. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know what raid battles, like actual regular raid battles, what they're
Yeah.
doing with like bringing Charizard, Cinderace, Greninja, Decidueye, that stuff is actually holding up pretty well for
Yeah.
a lot
Enjoying
of
it.
people.
Yeah, it is. It's a mixed bag. I want like all the home mons in, but it is also like just realistically, this is a great plan to keep us
I
right
think,
over until it.
yeah, I think it's smart that they're making it.
Mhm.
You know, they're making it go by slowly. I think
Yeah.
it's really smart.
Yeah.
and especially I never like competitive battling when all the Pokemon are back in. Like Lander's tree popping in
Yeah.
all the time just
Yeah.
ruins the. I like the smaller decks. Every
Mhm.
time the decks is the minimal, and you have to really think about like weaker options and like different strategies. I find that makes the game so much more fun. That's also why I like Black and White. Like with the original
Yeah.
decks, like you really have to think about like who
Yeah,
you want on your team.
didn't VGC for Black and White? They made them use like you could only use the Unova Pokemon for VGC in Black and White.
I don't know, man. I was a kid
At
back
least the
then.
first year. At least the first
You
year.
probably. Yeah,
I think
I
that-
think so.
That's a good reason or a good like preference for competitive battling, but I don't really think that's a really good like excuse for why there should be a limited dex, because you could have like all the Pokemon available in the game, but only like allow so many Pokemon to actually be like played competitively.
Right, like the reverse of that is that so they've allowed in Charizard, Greninja, Cinderace, and soon Decidueye, but you can't use them in ranked.
Yeah.
You can't use them in VGC. So that is something that I hated. Like I remember when I got, and same with Walking Wake and Iron Leaves too. You can't, even though they're considered Paradox Pokemon, you can't use them in ranked. I built like a whole team around my Walking Wake. I was so excited to go in there, and then I go on. It's like you have a Pokemon that isn't allowed. And I was like, what? No.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I know. It was super upsetting.
I don't know. I personally don't mind it, but I could be one of the few people.
that's kind of I don't know. I'm the opposite. That's kind of disappointing to me. Just as I don't play competitive, but watching, it's like it'd be cool if they added like one at a time.
I mean,
and,
at
like,
least
they just-
Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, because like they're brand new and I can't play with these. You know,
You will be able to though. Like you. Will.
Yeah, eventually
Eventually.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think it disrupts the meta, right? Like so many people went in
Yeah.
there with their teams regarding Iron Hands, Iron
Absolutely.
Bundle, Flare Maid, and like whatever else. So like adding Walking Wake and Iron Leaves to the mix, then it's like, oh no, people have to like mid-season you have to like worry about them. Not even
Yeah.
mid-season.
No,
like,
yeah,
you're-
it is true. I mean, Walking Wake especially. I mean, it's a water type who gets its move boosted by the sun.
It
That's
seems incredibly
that's a
powerful.
game changer.
I think people are sleeping on Iron Leaves, like big time
Oh,
sleeping. I know
Iron Leaves is definitely tough
It's got
too. I love
lightsabers in its
Walking Wake,
head.
man.
I think even like in a competitive standpoint, like I know Walking Wake, it's like it works on both sun and rain. That's like unlike that's never ever happened before. It's amazing, but Iron Leaves is, if you ask me, it's good in all four terrains.
Yeah, it is. I would say I think the big thing it definitely is because I mean it benefits from literally 3 of the 4 terrains.
Yeah, and then if you
but
make it like a Fairy Terra, if somehow
That's
and you
true.
give it like Terra Blast, it's literally all 4.
Well, and
So,
also
like-
Fairy's beneficial just in the sense that like it can't get status afflictions to it, which is great because people try to burn it because it has a high attack. But I think the thing with Walking Wake, I think the even bigger thing than the sun thing is honestly the typing between these two. Water Dragon is such a great typing, defensively and offensively.
King Drug.
Whereas Iron Leaves, I mean, a U-turn, that thing's dead.
That
Yeah.
is true. Yeah, that's
Oh,
why you Terra
checkmate.
Fairy. That's why you
Yeah,
Terra.
yeah, yeah,
That's why you
yeah.
Terra Fairy.
Fairy's a great Terra for it. You heard it here first. I love that we're able to discuss this now. I feel like I can never discuss this with you two. I love this.
Yeah.
You Terra Fairy, and you literally have like what, Leaf Blade? Maybe I don't know what the best grass type move is for it. Leaf Blade, and what's the other one? What's its signature move?
Psyblade, is it? Psyblade. It's not Psybeam. It's Psyblade.
Psyblade, and then you get Terra Blast, and then if you want Protect or you get Close Combat, whatever you want, it literally benefits from all 4 terrains.
Yep.
And like you're set whichever way. So I think in that sense, like Walking Wake, if you ask me, doesn't benefit. It still has the better typing. I recognize that 100%.
Yeah.
It still has. It's still absolutely bonkers, and it's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite paradox form now, but I agree. Yeah, but like I think Iron Leaves is big time slept on because that thing is so versatile. I just think it's not like. Come on, man! Like between Suicune and Virizion, there's no shot.
Yeah,
like everyone was gonna go towards Suicune.
It is a little unfair, isn't it?
Except Soul. I know Soul. Don't worry. And I think Iron Leaves also looks really good. I don't think people see the beauty in it, but I think it looks really good. But between Suicune and Virizion, everyone's gonna move towards Suicune, no question.
It's a weird choice to put those two because it seriously, it's like what you said. It never had a shot. From the second we heard, it was Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion. Everyone was talking about Suicune. The second we saw the ones in the journal, everyone was talking about the Suicune one. And then the second they get revealed, everyone's talking about the Suicune one. They didn't give Virizion a fighting chance.
Suicune is so weird because it's like you never in a million years you would imagine it to become like a reptile. It's so weird. It's got 2 tails. The thing that sold me on Suicune was the fact that its cry sounds like it's Suicune's cry. So it sounds like an adorable.
Virizion's is that way
from
too.
Gen 2.
It's Virizion's cry.
Yeah, but who cares about Virizion? I don't even know what Virizion's cry is.
Exactly what we were talking about.
You're like, it's Sigilif. Everyone loves Sigilif.
I think if it was reversed, let's say Suicune was a future form and Virizion was an ancient form, then maybe there would have been a shot.
Yeah,
but it's just the fact that all the future forms are so like everyone's like, oh, they're just all robots. Whereas the ancient forms, they have something going on. You know, you can't really like if you imagine like future Virizion, we all kind of expected it what to look like, to some degree. Yeah. But future Suicune, you know, we were all thinking, is it going to be like a dragon? Is it going to fly? Is it going to be humanoid? Is it going to be like this? Is it going to be what? That's not just because Riddler posted something. Flying. That's not just because Riddler posts something. It's just because when you think about a future form, you're already expecting it to be a robot. When you think about a past form, there's a lot more like creativity involved. So
the future forms. Yeah, what's up, Soul?
Oh, I was just gonna say the first thing that we can definitely go with what you were about to say, but the first thing I heard about the Suicune was that it was going to be bipedal, and I was like, okay. How is it going to be? I thought it was going to be like a man.
Suicune, really like lifting its arm up. It's got biceps and everything,
I thought everyone was going to be like up in arms and go nuts about it.
I'm not going to lie. When he posted it, when Ku posted the thing about like, it's either going to be bipedal or quadruped with wings, I thought, well, it better freaking be quadruped with wings.
Yeah.
But it worked. I love it. I mean, like you said, Hybrid, this is probably my my favorite pair. It's between this and Roaring Moon.
Yeah, that's what it was for me too. I don't know about you, Lumi, I personally didn't like it the first time I saw it. I definitely liked Iron Leaves more than like Walking Wake. I was probably one of the few people. I didn't like it, but then I saw it. I saw how it moves. I saw its moveset, and I saw its stats, and then I saw it walk on water, and I'm like, dang. Plus the typing, plus like
it being a paradox. Walk on water.
Yeah,
I think for me, it was a little similar. Like I did genuinely like the design. It definitely has grown on me more seeing it in game because it does. I mean, like you said, it moves. Have you seen it sleep? Oh my gosh, no. It's cute when it sleeps. Like I love that, But for me, I mean, I was thinking like competitive standpoint. So when I saw that water dragon typing, I just automatically, I loved it. But also the name. Walking Wake is like the coolest freaking name.
I don't get it.
I don't love the name either.
Wake is it's like water. Like it's just like it's flowy.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what a wake is, right?
Know.
Well, just to me, honestly, I don't really know what it means.
It's flowy mane. It's all flowy. Wake. It's just water.
I don't really know what it means. I love the sound of that walking wake. That just invokes fear, you know?
I love
that.
Not really.
I love it.
What, you're sleepwalking or something? Like, what's going on, you know? Like,
it could have been walking waters.
That's basically what it means. I mean...
Yeah. Iron leaves walking waters. But, okay, wait, okay. So, I mean, I was going to say, like, when I think about, like, the future Paradox Pokemon, they really could have done a lot more. They really could have, because I really do like the iron motif. Like, I like how they're all futuristic cyborgs. Not even cyborgs, but like I think that is cool, the robots. But they could have added more design elements to make them maybe just different.
Yeah,
right? Like all the silhouettes are the same.
Yeah, like I like Iron Hands. I think he's a great example of one that's like, when I say I like Iron Hands, I don't mean I like Iron Hands, but I like him in the sense that like he is different enough from Hariyama where I cannot look at Iron Hands and say it's Hariyama but metal.
Yeah,
you know, it looks too different.
Really? I don't know about that.
I can see
that.
I mean, you know, look at it.
Maybe I'm in the minority.
I agree.
Let me see. Okay, let me see what is the most different future Paradox Pokemon.
Probably.
Also, a lot of people say
Iron
like
Valiant is very
good.
But besides Iron Valiant, that's definitely.
Ku also used like in saying that Virizion was going to look very similar to Virizion but metal. He posted Iron Jugulus and Iron Thorns because those are ones that people complained it's just this but metal. But honestly, I think Iron Thorns.
I think Iron Thorns is the best.
Right, that's my favorite of the metal ones.
Different too. It looks.
It does. Yeah.
I think Iron Thorns is done well. I think that's
I wish it was.
I 100% agree.
Iron Thorns. I don't love it. I feel like it's like a blunted Tyranitar. It doesn't feel any more intimidating. I like the electric type.
It's meant to be more intimidating. I think the fact that it's less intimidating makes sense because it's still weaker than regular Tyranitar.
Well, and it also it says that it's not ferocious. It talks about how it's actually just highly intelligent. Yeah. So it's a contrast to Tyranitar, and that Tyranitar is just like a rampaging monster, whereas Iron Thorns is a very smart. I'd rather actually not fight if I have a choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that Iron Leaves, after looking at all of them, Iron Leaves is the one that is the least changed. Like it.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of them right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks almost exactly like Virizion, but Virizion's a cool Pokemon, so I don't mind. It's just
it's the 5th gen Pokemon. Volcarona, Hydreigon, and Iron Leaves all look like really, really similar to their feature forms.
Yeah. See, but Volcarona I dig a lot.
Volcarona
is cool. Iron Moth is
I agree. I think Iron Moth is cool. I think Iron Jugulus and what's this thing? What's Donphan's Iron what?
Iron Treads.
Yeah.
Great.
I think Iron Treads is different, but it's different
in
the
a
worst
bad
way
way.
possible.
Yeah. 100% agree. 100% agree. Soul does not agree, but
I don't love it, but I don't mind it.
They had potential. Like Iron Bundle moves cool. I think the way Iron Bundle moves is cool, but like you can't tell off of a picture. You need to see it move, which is like
I do like Iron Bundles a lot though.
Yeah. I think what's like really cool about the past Pokemon is that you can almost, because of the differences that you can clearly see, I feel like then you can start like telling yourself stories like this looks like Jigglypuff, but why does it get a long tuft of hair that turns into a tail, right? You can almost like try to fill in those gaps, but with the with the future Paradox, it's almost like they're carbon copies, or that's how you almost interpret them. If they have like more defining feature, if I don't know.
There's like one story for the future, basically, and that is that these Pokemon died off, or like they tried to keep them surviving, and they made them into robots. Like literally, they don't exist anymore, so we made robot versions of them.
I mean, I think it's exactly what Hybrid said, where like it's the design like creativity, I guess. Where like if I show you 2 Violet Paradoxes and I say, okay, now Delibird got one too, you can immediately picture exactly what that looks like. But if I show you 2 Scarlet Paradoxes and I go, okay, now Jigglypuff got one too, and you hadn't seen it, you wouldn't be able to really predict what that would look like.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's literally it.
Yeah. I still, you know what, despite all this I'm looking at right now, I still prefer the future forms over the past
Really?
forms.
They are cool. 100%. It doesn't mean they're like bad. It just means...
Yeah, no, I have no hate for them. Just to me, the Scarlet ones, I mean... They're beautiful. I love them.
I mean, the ones that really hit, like Great Tusk,
Yeah.
Slitherwing, Roaring Moon, Walking Wake, Fluttermane's a bit up there. The rest can, I don't know, they're whatever.
See, but the rest, there's only like 2 others. You know?
Sandy Shocks, there's a Scream Tail, Brute
You don't like Sandy Shocks?
Hey, it's it was funny for like 2 days.
I love Sandy Shocks.
I like Sandy Shocks.
Have you seen it, Terra? Have you seen it, Terra?
No.
No, but
because when it tears, its hat spins around, and I love that.
That is really cool. That's like a really interesting detail.
Bottom line is they did the same thing with the past ones. Like they just added a certain trait to each one of them, which is like fur and claws and teeth, and that's about it.
But that's not just one trait.
Well, you know what I mean.
The other one is just this but metal, and these are this but savage.
So that's actually a good point because it's not just, we interpret it as a robot, but it's really like it's LED, it's metallic finish. It's
their arms are not
wiring.
Attached.
Yeah, arms are detached.
Their arms are not attached.
That's actually that is a good point.
Their arms. Like Iron Hands his hands are not attached. Iron Jugular.
It's like a me.
Their arms are not attached.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Iron Jugular's arms aren't attached?
I know. People don't.
That's exactly the issue. Is that Iron Jugular? You can't even tell until we got its official art.
This is what's wrong with the community. People don't know this.
Iron Jugular. Oh, let me see this.
I just posted like a little promo video that they released, and it has Iron Jugulus doing like a move, and its arms like completely separate.
Oh, I see. It's official art. That's crazy. I didn't know that. So is that the case for all of them? No.
No, not all of them, but it is a feature that a lot of them have. Yeah, it's cool. I like the.
I do like Valiant's little weapon, like his,
that's the coolest thing.
The double-bladed lightsaber. He's Darth Maul,
It's like if Farfetch'd was actually a cool Pokemon. Like it's a Pokemon with
like Galarian.
It's the best object mon. It's the best object mon.
Maybe it's up there for me. It's definitely up there for me. But
all right, Hybrid. I want to talk about what your expectations are for the DLC. Maybe we can start with the teal mask.
Okay, let me start with the actual present itself. Yeah, I didn't get to speak about this on our podcast.
Yeah, I wanted you to do this for sure.
Yeah. So I think I was pretty disappointed.
If you're enjoying this show, just $5 helps us out so much. Right below this video, there's a join button. You can click it and become a channel member.
And more importantly, we have merch. Seriously, I'm about to when we're done recording this ad, I'm trying to speed up this ad so I can go and buy my own merch, which is really lame. But also, it's super cool, and
it's not lame.
Cool.
I'm gonna be wearing.
Amazing.
I'm gonna be wearing a hat. I'm gonna be wearing a T-shirt. I'm also gonna have a hoodie. I'm gonna have a Hidden Power hoodie.
I'm gonna get that too then.
Yeah, Soul's gonna get one.
I want a mug. I want to put my Snapple in a Hidden Power mug.
I like that. I'm gonna be drinking coffee in a Hidden Power mug.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense than Snapple.
That's like, what is this, plastic?
It's bad for the environment. Get a mug. Save the turtle.
There you go.
Soul Silver Army. Grab your merch.
Listen to Lumi. Get some of our stuff. It's really good stuff, guys.
Your support will allow us to continue making Hidden Power videos for the rest of the year. Thank you guys so much. And now back to the video.
So I'm not really keeping up to date with anything. And all I know is even while I was avoiding all that stuff, everyone hyped up this presents to be like, oh my god, it's 25 minutes. They've never done this before. They always do this. Once. Yeah, they've only ever done this once. What are they gonna reveal? Obviously it's gonna be Unite, Pokemon Masters, Cafe Remix. There's gonna be DLC for sure. Pokemon Sleep, but 25 minutes. What else could they drop? And they dropped just that.
That's all I expected, though. That is literally
no. That's not true, Dusty. You and I were expecting one more thing.
Asterisk. Virtual Console is obviously something that could still roll out.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's not that ridiculous, though. That's not that ridiculous.
No. Hold on. Usually, everyone expected these 5 things: Sleep, Unite, Masters, Cafe Remix, and DLC, plus 1 or 2 things. The other 2 things that were thrown around the most were Virtual Console, which everyone thought was a given.
That's not ridiculous, though. It exists.
Hold on.
That's a port. It's a port. That's all it is.
Don't get it started.
But they did. But they did.
It's gonna happen next. Okay, yeah. Talk.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But they didn't reveal it. And the other thing that was being thrown around like crazy, which is probably the reason why I'm most disappointed, we didn't get Mystery Dungeon, man. We didn't.
Who cares? Who cares?
I care.
No, dude, that's not gonna happen.
No, man, I'm so sad.
People were even discussing about like a new remake game. I'm like, you're crazy.
No, that one fake leak Pokemon Electrum, Pokemon Legends DLC. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That one was wild. But I really thought like those 5 things would be announced, and then something else, just something. There was something else. There's the Pokemon TCG. The Pokemon.
That's
Pokemon
true.
Concierge.
I forgot all about that.
But like it's what, $200 for a proxy. It's not even that serious, to be honest. But like
there's Pokemon Concierge as well.
What's that?
You didn't see the Netflix show?
there was a Netflix show. He's right. That weird.
Right.
It's claymation.
Bro, with Netflix's decline, I'm not excited at all.
No,
but
nope.
but like, so that was that. I personally, maybe I had my expectations high. If they had Mystery Dungeon, I would have been over the moon. So that's how you know, like I'm just fanboying and like, you know. But
you know what's I could totally see in the next couple months new direct, because if you think about it, they've announced DLC and the DLC is not coming out until the end of the year. So what the heck are we gonna do in the meantime? Play Cafe? I don't think so.
We'll get a presents in May or June.
Yeah, I agree. I think June. Maybe late June.
So if you start a Kickstarter YouTube channel in these next 6 months, you're set. If you can find like some traction, you're set, because it's gonna be a dead period. The fact that we're not getting DLC, Poketubers live and thrive off the hype cycle. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like the cycle. The fact that we have literally nothing in post game Scarlet and Violet, and DLC's coming out in fall, it's gonna be a dead zone. If you can find something like, you know.
Dude, I'm the same though. I'm like, what am I gonna even post about?
You gotta create the hype.
You got so much old stuff. You got so much old stuff to talk about.
It's true.
You know, like there's so many things you got. You have like
you can finally finish your Betamons.
Yeah, that I really want to do.
You'll have no excuse. You can start the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think Dead Zone is always people think of it as a bad time. Like if you can find traction when like tides are low, you will definitely find traction when tides are high.
No, it's true. I started mine March 2nd, so it was 3 days after Scarlet and Violet were announced. So I rode that first initial wave. But, you know, they didn't give us information again until a few months later. So there was, like, that dead zone. But, I mean, that's honestly where I found my traction.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, like, back out of content and stuff. Sorry, that's truck.
No, you're okay.
Just backing it up.
Yeah, I like how you said back out of traction while sleeping. How'd you do that?
You never know. You'll never know. But DLC. Oh my god. DLC wise, I gotta say, I think the way they did the Crown Tundra on the Isle of Armor, the presentation for that was far better. Far better. I actually felt like it was hype how they revealed it. And I also felt like I had a gist of, I kind of knew what was going on, you know? Whereas with this, I'm like, you say the teal mask has to do with Area Zero, and by looking at what's the
Ogerpon?
Ogerpon. By looking at Ogerpon, I kind of have an idea, maybe, sorta. And you say that Terrapagos, or this, you know, Blueberry Academy DLC, the Indigo Disk has something to do with Area Zero, but I see Blueberry Academy, and I'm like, I look at Terrapagos, and I'm like, I kind of have an idea of Area Zero. I can get it, but Blueberry Academy, what the heck? Like, what is, you know, what does this have to do?
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, that comes along with the Atlantis thing. I get that later, but like I'm saying, for the average Joe, he's not gonna look at that, and she's not gonna look at that and be like, what does this have to do with Area Zero? You know, I'm gonna close my window. This is getting annoying. Sorry. But like yeah, no, I don't know. I personally felt like they didn't give us, usually they I'd like a little bit of information but not too much, but this time I felt like I didn't even get that personally. I was not.
I get that.
So I really feel like the reason why they didn't show anything is the same reason why they didn't show anything during leading up to Scarlet and Violet. I think that they're hiding, or they don't have a finished product, or even anything that can even be shown to people. That's what I think.
Yeah. The second option, I'm pretty sure that they don't have it done yet.
And they could have done what they did with the previous DLC and given us concept art. That would have been really cool. But then again, it's their whole thing with Scarlet and Violet is to not show too much.
I think it's different from that, though. I think because Sword and Shield, they didn't show much more than they did Scarlet
They just
and Violet.
showed the CG. The CG.
I think that what it is with DLC, they're going to reveal most of their cards because it's a harder thing to have to convince somebody to buy DLC, an expansion to a game, than it is to buy a new game. It's the same reason that these Mario Kart DLCs, they straight up show every single track and character that the DLC's bringing, because they know it's harder to get you to buy a DLC than it is a game. You've played the game, so you know what to expect. So the DLC is you have to convince them that you want more of what you just played.
Right.
So I think what it is that they know that they have until fall 2023 is when the game's coming out. That's a lot longer than with Isle of Armor, where it came out early June. So I think they are just planning to reveal more later, because if they show everything they showed in the same amount that they showed in the Sword and Shield one, well, then we would have a long time before the game comes out and we already know everything. So it kind of gets old quicker. You know what I mean? It gets stale.
Yeah, I get that, but for me, it's see the way they revealed Terapagos and that guy, Ogerpod. Yeah, it was so lackluster compared to Urshifu and Calyrex. They didn't really say much. They just had a quick CG trailer of them, and it was hype, But the way, forget Terapagos and Ogerpon, Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, the way they were revealed was so
boring.
Just there. Yeah, and it wasn't
no story.
There's nothing to it, and it wasn't. Oh man, I was going to get some anime spoilers, but hey, you guys all watch Attack on Titan?
They don't watch the anime, and I watch it the day it comes out.
He's talking about Attack on Titan, though.
Attack on Titan. Oh,
yeah.
You can mention it. I don't watch.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
Spoiler alert.
For people who actually have watched, not even spoiler. In season 2, they dropped one of the biggest bombshells in the most casual way possible, but it worked really well because there was a lot of I don't know, Luby, I think you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of suspense and tension before that, where to drop it casually is oh my god, what, how are they gonna drop this like this? But in the Pokemon Presents, it was just here you go, nothing before it, nothing afterwards. Here's Walking Wake, here's Iron Leaves. You can get them today.
I do definitely think that's it too. And then also with the DLC, after the Sword and Shield DLC trailer, there was 10 minutes of them just going over everything you just saw and breaking it down. Whereas with this one, it was really what you just saw was the Sword and Shield DLC. Bye. The Scarlet and Violet DLC. Bye. There was not much discussion.
And it's cool. It's cool if there's nothing to show, Dusty and Solar is saying. If there's nothing there, then by all means, right? They don't have anything ready. It's all good. But you could have presented everything better. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, yeah. The concept art, they didn't show an ounce of gameplay for Sword and Shield DLC. They just used concept art, and it was fire. That is, to this, that will always be one of the greatest trailers I watched, just because of how they were constantly throwing something at you. You couldn't even process what it was. You see Gigantamax, Blastoise, and Venusaur, and you're oh, Gigantamax, and the second that happens, they're showing you Galarian and Articuno, and you're wait, no, you can't even focus.
They did a lot of that in Sword and Shield and the reveal trailers. I remember that.
Yeah.
So they didn't even explain. That's what, right? They didn't explain much. They left just enough for you to get hyped and think about things, and they didn't that was it. Whereas here it was here you go, you're expecting this, here you go, done.
Yeah. Right.
It was pretty boring. What did you think, Sol? I'm curious because you're keeping quiet.
No, I'm a more quiet person, but
yeah, that's not good.
didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I agree. The biggest thing, and I told these guys this, is that I watched the Sword and Shield trailer like the night before Pokemon Day this year, and I just wanted to see like how to compare it, and I just wanted it to be on par with that, just like as an equal, because I knew it wasn't going to top that because it was too good. But it was worse.
It was way worse.
It was worse.
Much worse.
Not enough. I think so. We'll get into like leaks later on, but I think if they had done what the leaks are, and that's what I was expecting,
exactly.
And I was like hyping up the whole thing. I was like, "There's gonna be big surprise in the Pokemon Day."
Like the fake leaks?
No, like the real leaks.
The real leaks.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
We'll talk.
We'll get into
it. I was just thinking like that would be there, and that I think would have made it last longer. I feel like people are already not. I mean, just me tweeting stuff out, I'm not getting too much traction on some things, and I'm like, dude, we just got new news. Why aren't we thinking about this or talking about this? I feel like a lot of people are.
I do feel like the Pokemon Company, especially for, like I said, for Scarlet and Violet, their thing has been to show us less information, and I don't think Ku's an inside job, but whatever's been happening, right? The combination of them not showing things, but then information being trickled out is 100% influencing all of us to create theories and speculate and share things with our friends. There's some sort of feedback loop. I don't know if it's fully intentional, but I think that's probably what they're relying on. And
totally not. It's not intentional. The way Ku talks, it's not intentional.
No, not Ku, but like the fact that they're holding back information, they're showing us stuff, but then holding things back. I don't know. I feel like there's been a tremendous effect on the community.
That could be. It could be. I don't know. Like, for me, it's like, I'll tell you, looking at Blueberry Academy and like, what's the place called that we're going to in the Teal Mask?
Kitakami.
Kitakami, yeah. You see, that does get me thinking. Like, how does this have to do with Area Zero? Like stuff like that, right? Like, like that's the basic one. If you're saying it's Area Zero, we're going on a field trip to somewhere that looks like Japan. Someone, we'll talk more about it later, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone that looks like Japan and a school in the middle of nowhere. Sure, that might be to do with Atlantis, but like, what does this have to do with Area Zero? Question mark. Like it gets me thinking, but I can't think. I don't see. They didn't give me the connection. Like they don't have to give me like everything, but like, what does this have to? I don't. There's like it's nowhere.
What is the theory that
cut it? They just said no more Paldea. We're just going to these two random places,
and it's about Area Zero. Like,
is the connection going to be so? Like, obviously, Blueberry Academy has to do with Terrapagos. That Terrapagos is going to be, or Terrapagos. How are you guys saying it?
They said Terrapagos in the presents.
Okay, so Terrapagos is obviously, that is Area Zero in some way, right? So that we're gonna get answers there. And then when it comes to Kitakami, in the Teal Mask DLC, I'm looking at the mask as being some sort of artifact infused with some sort of Terra energy, right?
It definitely has Terra crystals on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking before we got anything to do with leaks and stuff, I was thinking that it was like Terrapagos is gonna be like the Terra energy part of the thing, the typing part of it, and Ogerpon is gonna be like the whole hat part of it. Is what I was thinking, but yeah.
Do you guys want to enter leak conversations?
Yes, because I think this is a good point, because like my idea with what Ogerpon could be is very heavily tied to leaks.
I don't. Oh, you know what? Before we get to that, can we just talk about the Pokemon? I know Dusty asked me this.
Yeah.
Please.
I hate him. Except for Terrapagos.
You brought him up. We went back. You brought him up just to make fun of him. Got it.
No, but he's right.
He was like, wait, before we leave, can I just dunk on these Pokemon for a moment?
Bro, let's just get this out of the way. If I get a fourth grass and dark type in this generation, right after we got Zarude, Meowscarada, Brute Bonnet, and what's the other one? What's the rune? Wochent, bro, we already got a Paradox, a Starter, and Legendary. Last generation, we got a Mythical. And, like, I think, Soul, you pointed out, they're all based off the same goddamn thing, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
pretty much.
Like, why? Like, I look at Ogerpon, and then the other with the bear one, and I'm like, what's it?
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Yeah, it's a great name.
Okie dokie. Doggy? Okie dokie.
Okay, it's a doggy.
I think it's Dogi, like the meme Doge.
Okie.
Oh, maybe. But like, I look at those two. I'm like, one of you is Grass Dark. There's no way about it. But how are you?
Yeah.
If you're a set of starters, we already have Meowscarada. If you're a set of legendaries, we already have Wochen. What's your problem? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you?
What's your problem?
Like, no, really. Like, why? Like, what is up with Grass and Dark? You're talking about U-turn being a Oko. This is a U-turn Oko, and they keep giving it to us.
Yeah,
They've done this with other starters before. I've noticed that like when we get a new starter type in the same generation, they'll give us another version of that type combination.
There was something for each one here. Fire Ghost, you had Ceruledge as well.
Yep.
Water Fighting, you had Aqua Breed Tauros as well.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
So,
but this is crazy though.
Yeah.
This is next level. Like
This is worse than firefighting. This is way worse than firefighting.
we need
Hybrid
another
Hero-
firefighting Pokemon.
you brought up a good point just now.
We got Blaze Breed Tauros.
Yeah,
I
we
made
did.
that
That's true.
tweet. I made that tweet and I didn't even realize that Brute Bonnet is also Grass and Dark. Like I forgot totally that thing.
It
There's
literally
another Grass Dark type. I
There's
had no
literally
idea.
going to be 4 if they make Okidogi a Grass Dark.
No, he's talking about Ogerpon. Like
Oh,
Ogerpon.
Either or. I'm talking
Either
about
or, they
either
both
or.
look like they could be.
No. Ogerpon's gonna be fairy type.
I think Ogerpon's going to be
Maybe. Or
Fairy
Toad.
Dark, and I think Okidogi's going to be Grass Fighting.
I will be so down for Fairy Dark. That's cool with me. But that trio looks like it's gonna be Grass Dark, Water Dark, Fire Dark, which I'm like, you already have 2 ruined Pokemon of that type.
Yeah. I think for that reason they're not going to be. My guess is that I think it'll be Water Psychic for Monkey-Dory. I think because like the big head just kind of makes me think like
so.
brain power, you know.
True. Yeah.
Then Grass Fighting for Okidogi because he's buff and everything, and then Fire Fairy for Pheasantipity, and that almost forms a chain. Almost no, it doesn't because Fairy and Psychic both beat fighting. But
What are
either
you guys
way,
thinking? What do you guys think? Are they legendaries or they starters? What is it? Those
They
are
have
two
to be.
main things.
They
I don't
have
think
to be
they're
like legendaries. They
I
have
think
to be.
they're just Pokemon,
Yeah.
but they're supposed to be like. I think they are Game Freak clearly doing like an allegory to starters. Like it's a reference.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't
That's
think they're legendaries. They would have said that they were legendaries, just like they said that the other 2 were legendaries.
That's what I think too.
Um,
They've been recently like dividing the categories of Pokemon a lot. Like in this gym, they took previously Mythicals was a subcategory under legendary Pokemon, but they've now separated that, and Mythicals are coding wise just Mythicals. Like it's its own category.
Yeah.
The Ultra Beasts are their own category. Paradoxes are their own category. They keep calling these Pokemon heroes or whatever. So I'm wondering if it'll be like a new category that they just call hero Pokemon.
We got Neospatians. Holy crap.
I don't get the reference. Dang it.
Oh, you don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh? That's all good. It's all good.
Dang.
But
how do you feel about them if they became like if they get a new form with
The
like
Power
the
Rangers?
Ranger mask?
Yeah.
the power,
Because I think that's
Yeah.
highly likely. Like
that
they
was
would
the
let-
first thing I thought of when I said, like, even watching the trailer. That's the first thing I thought of, and I think I think all 4 of them are gonna. I think even Terapagos is definitely it's definitely gonna have a different form,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
that and all, we can't really.
A bipedal form.
Oh no,
Can you
Shape
imagine?
arms.
no, it'll be like a dragon form.
Yeah.
Just think about 3rd legendaries. And
Come out of its shell.
I think. Well, we'll talk about Terapagos in a bit, but
yeah.
But I can't really say because if like Lumi is saying there are like hero forms, that would like. Did they say hero Pokemon? That makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah.
I think they straight up call them these hero Pokemon or like the hero Pokemon of the village or whatever.
They're like hybrid heroes.
Ow.
That's bad.
Now, he's not going to come back. He's just
that's
disconnect
stupid,
right
that's
there.
No, but you know what? The Power Ranger forms or whatever. We'll see how they look. I'm hesitant. I feel like they're gonna look goofy, but like fun, maybe. Like I think it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of those Pokemon that like people like initially hate, but then they're like, they're kind of funny. It's alright. We'll pass.
Okay,
But
they may be legendaries.
I'm telling you, man.
Because
There's definitely a possibility.
if you go to the Scarlet and Violet page, the little like article that you click is called "Introducing the Legendary Pokemon You'll Meet in This DLC."
Yes.
And at first it talks about Ogerpon and Terapagos, but then as you scroll down it says the heroes of Kitakami, Okidogi, Monkey-Dory, and Pheasantipity. But it's under the article that says introducing the legendary Pokemon that you'll meet in this DLC.
Yeah, legendary Pokemon have always just been like a way to. It's like a Pokemon that has a legend behind it, right? And these Pokemon, right? We know these Pokemon have a legend behind them in Kitakami with the statues and the paintings, and they were said to, fend off Ogerpon. So it feels.
The thing is they can be
obvious to me.
To answer Hybrid's question, they can be both legendary and like a pseudo starter. It's like definitely. How Kubfu was. Like Kubfu was legendary, but you got him as like a baby Pokemon and he evolves. It's like
I'm leaning towards that the more so than being a trio of starters. And like
yes. No, it's not gonna be. I don't know where people are getting this idea that they are like literally starter Pokemon that
you won't choose between them.
No.
I
think you will choose between them.
I don't think you will, because like it shows on the sign that the trainer used all 3 of them to chase Ogerpon. I imagine that the teal mask, like the plot will be you have to go get these Pokemon. They might even be like Titans, and you have to go take them on to work your way to Ogerpon.
I'm gonna rebuttal here.
Okay.
I think that could be possible. But you have to think that you have those 2 new, not like rivals, but characters with you, okay? And there are 2 of them, and they're
I'm with you.
They're in both of the things. So it's like there's no more Arven and Nimona and Penny there in this specific one because this one happens. This one happens like right after you leave the school, like to do your treasure hunt. So it can take place at the beginning. So Arven and Nimona and Penny are just like chilling in Paldea, waiting for you to finish their quest with them. So those other characters are meant to replace them, and they could literally be. It's 3 characters, so you pick one, and they pick the other 2. It could go like that.
You don't think Arven, Nimona, and Penny are going to be in the DLC?
Not in Kitakami,
I think they'll be in the second one because the second one it says you have to have beaten the whole game of Scarlet and Violet and the Teal Mask DLC. Mm-hmm. So I think they'll be in the second one because I think it'll be like a culmination of everything you've played up to this point.
Where do we think Yeah, what's up?
I was just saying if they are in the first one, like it'll be minimal. It'll just be like, hey.
Real quick, can I just ask? I'm just curious. Get you a survey, if you will.
Sure.
Do y'all plan to, when this DLC comes out, are you going to like go within your current save file, or are you going to restart the game so you can
current save file?
Current save file.
Okay, that's what I'm doing too. I was curious if anybody was restarting it, but that's interesting. All 4 of us are doing. Let us know in the comments below if y'all are doing current or
if I did that, wouldn't I have to? I don't even know how I would have to do that, but I want to I feel like I want to finish my save file. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you treat it as post game. That's what I did with Isle of Armor. That's what I plan to do with this.
It is the post game technically.
But I'll definitely what I definitely want to do.
Blueberry Academy is the post game. This is meant for you to be played. You can play it at the beginning. You can play it at the end.
You can pick a new starter. I could do that.
Wait, what?
No,
he was joking.
No, Dusty's doing what he does on Twitter.
No, like we're saying these 3 Pokemon people say they're starters. So it's like you play in the beginning, you could choose one in the beginning, right? Potentially.
But wasn't the Isle of Armor actually like that? That's why I like backed off for a sec because I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
You chose between Squirtle and Bulbasaur, and then you also got Kubfu.
Where do you guys think Kitakami is? Do you think it is that northeastern location of the map that's hidden?
On this.
So where do you think Kitakami is?
Oh my gosh, they're not gonna go that far from Paldea.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
They're on a bus.
See, I saw that and I was like, I was gonna mention it, and I'm like, people are just gonna be like, they could have went on a plane and then gone on the bus. But no, I think that it's literally that piece of land that we saw in like the game's data that looks like it's supposed to be Kalos. I mean, it's not.
The South Kalos area is actually Kitakami.
There's like an actual like.
You have a link?
Place. Not handy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pokemon fans do this thing where they think it has to be like geographically accurate, and like they seem to just completely forget that they literally flip the UK upside down.
Yeah.
I mean it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, so these regions are based on real world things, but they are not located in the same place on the map. I would argue, I would push back on that a little bit because there are a lot of regions that look identical. Kalos, Paldea, the first 4 Japanese regions, they look identical.
Sure, but we don't know the locations of many of those.
Yes, exactly. I agree, but exactly what Lumi just said. We have never seen a cohesive, connected map of the Pokemon world They're never showed them connecting. Except
They never will.
Johto
I guarantee you,
Johto and
they
Sinnoh.
can never do that, because if they did that, they would have to have a complete like globe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Gen 10.
No, because then there's no Gen 11 if they show it all on the globe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's the issue.
Anyway,
But,
so
like-
it could be connected, like Kitakami could be literally connected to Paldea, or it could just be that chunk of land that we've seen, and they never like show it actually connect to Paldea either.
Sure.
So like we'll never have the answer to this, but it'll be that exact shape or whatever.
Also, too, if you wanted to get like, I don't know, if you wanted to get really technical, you could even argue that there's more evidence that the Pokemon world is not geographically accurate than there is that it is. Because, like, so with Galar, for example, like I said, it's the UK flipped upside down. And so the thing with that is that the further south you go in Galar, that's where you get to the Crown Tundra, which is the coldest point in Galar. So that would actually imply that the Galar region is in the southern hemisphere of the Pokemon Earth, rather
true.
than the northern hemisphere.
If the Earth works like that, the
Right.
Pokemon-
If the Earth,
what-
that's another
that's
thing.
what-
You don't even know that the Earth works like that, right?
it's
But
it's a
so-
rabbit hole, man. We could.
I think it has to be, if it's related to Area Zero, it has to be related to like near Paldea.
Yep.
I swear to God, if it's in Japan and somehow it's related to Area Zero or something like that, it's gonna make no sense to me.
Well, I
And
guess
also
the
the Terrestrial phenomenon, you're going to be able to use it there. How is that? Because that should
Yeah.
only be usable in Paldea.
I'll give you my little theory on my little story of Kitakami and all that. What it basically is to me is that Ogerpon is like a thief, just like the story of Momotaro, and he went and stole some Terrastall stuff. So I cannot see this ogre demon thing going for all the way across the entire planet from Japan to Paldea to steal this stuff and then go back and like bring it there and do whatever. I don't think that this is the case.
Yeah,
But
and if
I
it's
don't know
not,
anything.
and if it's not in that area to the northeast, the implication is then, well, then what is that? Is there going to be a third DLC?
I mean, they could have just cut that. It could just be like an empty space that.
But why would you include it? That makes no sense. Why you would like show what the
Game
map
Freak-
is?
Game Freak leave that like extra assets in their games all the time, like, and we go nuts
Yeah.
about it. But a lot of
That's
times
so
it doesn't.
deliberate,
So-
though.
I have to hone in on something you just said, Soul. So you think Ogerpon is a thief and is evil?
So it's fairy type.
I think
Fairies
it's
are
definitely
thieves.
a thief.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fairies are
'Cause
thieves.
Here's
Clef
my
thief.
counterpoint. Here's
I
my
have a
counterpoint.
million theories.
I
Davey.
have a whole theory on it that I'm posting tomorrow, so I won't give too much away. But all I'm gonna say is, if you look at that sign in the woods, Ogerpon's running from the trainer. He's not
Yeah.
fighting it.
Yeah, he's running. He's a thief.
Now he's running because I think he's
'Cause he's scared.
misunderstood. I think it's an Absol situation.
It's very possible. I think
That's
that's very likely, actually. But still, it doesn't mean he's not a thief that is mischievous and stole some Terrastall crystals. Like
I agree. I agree with both of you. I
Yeah.
agree with both of you. He probably is misunderstood, but he's probably still a thief.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay to steal if your reasons are good.
It could be Majora's Mask too. Like the mask could be like.
I was getting Majora's Mask vibes.
Exactly.
I was getting
That's
Majora's
exactly
Mask vibes.
what. That's my whole theory. Like what it's built around is basically just I think the mask is influencing him, and I think it's actually Terapagos that's the evil one, and Ogerpon is not.
There's no way Terapagos is evil. It could. That could be
destroyed-
misunderstood.
It destroyed Arvin's whole family.
I think Jack
Yeah.
is evil. I think Jack is the evil guy here.
Jack.
Jack?
Jack?
Oh, Jacques.
Jack. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said Jack. I was like,
I did
who's
say
Jack?
Jack. I did say Jack. I'm like, you know what? Let's
Close
make a little
enough.
French. Yeah.
Jacques.
Jacques.
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good call. It could
So
be.
what- Yeah. So what do you guys think about Terapagos? Terapagos.
I think it's a fairy type. It's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. I like turtles. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
turtles.
turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. It's cute. It's cute. I never expected it to look like this. It's weird having Koraidon, Miraidon, and Terapagos like this.
Yeah.
And this is probably the cutest set of like legendaries that we got.
It's nice.
You know,
They could all be pets.
For sure.
Yeah, they all could. Straight up, they all could. And I think Terapagos, I'm really down with that idea. That this was before Terapagos was even revealed. There was a whole sketch going around about how the region of Paldea looks like a turtle.
Yeah.
And I think this fits in really well. We'll see what it has to do. It might just be a small remnant of it. I'm really interested in all There's a lot of mystery surrounding this Pokemon. I'm still pretty upset. They just gave us like the Sugimori art and said that's it. Yeah. Nothing else. Not gonna show nothing. Not gonna say anything. Here you go. I'm like, great.
I would love if Terapagos. I would love if Terapagos was actually the mystery, or the question mark type that was kind of removed from like older games. Because when I look at Arceus,
I would love that. Yeah,
I think it would only make sense here, and it doesn't actually make sense with Arceus. Like maybe the original Arceus could be that like missing no type. But it makes sense that Arceus is normal type because it just changes type for each plate. Where in this case, this thing could wield any type. It can create anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no type is like, I mean, not just like from Gym 1, it's a functioning type in the game. If you are to use Burn Up on a pure fire, if Arcanine uses Burn Up, it becomes no type.
I love that. This thing should be by default no type.
That's what I was thinking. Like I have tweets planned where I just was like going over what I think about this thing's type, and I think like exactly that. It can't be a copy of Arceus, I feel. But then again, Pokemon.
I could see it just being dragon, like just as the
I don't think it's dragon. I think it's like normal fairy. It could be normal dragon afterwards, kind of thing.
I agree.
My logic for why it's dragon is, obviously third legend dragon. That just they often do that. But even aside from that, are we all caught up on the whole Momotaro stuff?
No, I'm not, but it's all good.
Explain it for the viewers.
Okay. So basically the gist of it is like, Momotaro. I said Momotaro. I meant, is it Urashima Taro? Yeah. Is that what the turtle one is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the gist of it is there's this tale about a guy sees these kids beating up a turtle. He saves the turtle. Turtle's like, oh, I'm so grateful, turns into a giant turtle and takes him to a dragon palace under the sea. And the way the turtle is depicted, it's very clear, like it's almost copy paste. That's what Terapagos is based off of, is that turtle from that story. Well, the dragon palace is under the sea, so that's clearly supposed to be Blueberry Academy. Blueberry Academy, clearly Terapagos is supposed to be the blueberry here. So if we go Dragon Palace, Blueberry Academy, then the blueberry's a dragon. So Terapagos is a dragon.
Beautiful.
I don't know, man. Charizard's also a dragon, so like
that's true.
The question is it a water dragon since it's under the sea?
That's what I'm saying, right? You can never predict. You can say something's a bug, but it's not. It might not be a bug type Pokemon. So I wouldn't go by that logic, person. I think it's normal fairy because it looks like it could be normal fairy, but at the same time, Koraidon is fuck, I should. Oh, sorry, it's more hard there. The fighting. No, I was about to say, does that counter pretty well? I was trying to think of like a type triangle, but then maybe not so much. Never mind.
I don't know if that has to happen either, though.
I mean, if it's
type triangle,
it doesn't. I mean, there's been plenty of times where they have it. I mean, in Gym 4, Dialga has the advantage over the other two. And
no, but I was thinking more so like Sword and Shield. Like with Sword and Shield, it was like Zacian and Zamazenta. What is it? They both get bodied by Eternatus.
Yeah.
In some way, like I was thinking
that's a good
like
point.
That.
Yeah.
Well, I always read it as like they got bodied by Eternatus because the poison resists fighting in Fairy and even beats Fairy. But when they get the items, they now resist the poison. They're immune to
exactly. So, like, in similar light, like, how can Terapagos beat both them?
Maybe this thing's gonna kill Cyclizar.
No, he will not touch my Cyclizar.
And they're gonna kill Cyclizar.
That's
it'll
my
have
baby.
the type advantage until they go to become Paradox versions. I don't know. I think this is very similar to like when they revealed Sylveon and everyone's like, it's bug type, it's flying type, whatever. People assumed it was something that already exists. This is the thing where they drop it and they go, what type is it? It literally has every type on its body. In no way, I don't think this thing's gonna have a type.
I just think
it could be rock type too.
Yeah, I think it's either just there's two options if it doesn't go the Arceus route, and it's just the first option is it's typeless, like you're saying, and it can just change into any type, or it's a set type, like Hybrid is saying, and it's like rock and fairy, and then it has like a protean-like ability that makes it change any type that it wants to, or it just like, can terrestrialize as many times as it wants, stuff like that.
I could see them working a mechanic of like, it'll terrestrialize, and like you can maybe just when you select, so like you'll click terrestrialize, and then you'll go and select one of its moves, and it'll terrestrialize into the type of that move. I could see that being the case.
I definitely think whatever it is, it's gonna have something busted. From Rayquaza, from Zygarde onwards, it's been absolutely bonkers. Like 100% Zygarde, Mega Rayquaza, Ultra Necrozma. Wait, what did I say? 100% Zygarde, Mega Rayquaza, Ultra Necrozma. And then what you get? You get,
Emax, Eternatus.
I mean, you could argue Calyrex though was also a bad one there.
Calyrex, and then I think even Arceus and Legends Arceus.
With the Legends played, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think it just goes up. So like, I don't know. For me, like,
I like turtles.
predicting this kind of stuff with Terapagos and everything, it might be a bit difficult. But I just want to know lore wise. So hey, if any Soul or Dusty or Lumi, if you guys got like any like actual like
Yeah. I sent you that story of Urashima. So you should read it.
It is a good story. Like, it's a very enjoyable story.
But did you ever figure out like? I'm still trying to figure out Area Zero, man. Like they talk about Blueberry Academy and everything, and I'm like, bro, I want to know about Area Zero. What's wrong with you? I feel like there's so much like left unanswered, and of course. Man, like stuff with Geetha.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to tell us anything about that. We were leading up. It was like a week before Scarlet and Violet launch, and they didn't even tell us about what was it? The Paradox. Like we had just found out about them. I think they're just not going to tell us.
They could have just put. At least if I knew that the old characters were returning in some way, that I would have been settled. Like
they're totally going to. It's going to be tied in. I don't know how it's going to be tied in, but they wouldn't name it the Hidden Treasures of Area Zero if there was no tie-in.
So you have any ideas? You have any ideas?
That's the only thing that we got, dude. All we have is the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero to hold on to. Like that is our only hope of connecting us to this. Because other than that, there's no connection. Like other than Terapagos. But when we saw this, we're like, oh, Terapagos must be under the Blueberry Academy now. Like, it could just be over there. It's weird.
I don't think it's under the Blueberry Academy. I think it'll just live in. It'll be because so SB Juju did a video on this where he actually speculated the third legendary would be based off of the Quilebray, which it's not, but it's a Spanish dragon. Yeah. And one thing that was really interesting about it though was that the Quilebray flies off to islands in the middle of the sea. And so SB, had predicted this was, before DLC was revealed, he had predicted, this is a very condensed version of it, and I highly recommend everybody go check out his channel because he explains it a lot better. But basically he had predicted that the third legendary would be this Quilebray that would fly to the DLC area, which would be an island. That's how they incorporate a DLC area into this. And so, while Terapagos is definitely not a Quilebray, I do think it still holds some merit in the sense that this could be perhaps like a place that Terapagos migrates to.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. Bottom line, we don't really know right now.
Some random thought that I had, and I don't think this is actually going to happen, but like if we play with the idea that Terapagos is underneath Paldea, right? I could kind of see actually bringing it back to Gen 5. Remember, like at the end of Gen 5, where the Elite Four. Or like the Indigo League or whatever it's called, like raises up out of the ground and there's a giant castle. Could you kind of see like a cutscene where like you could see Terapagos like grow and then raise up and then all of Paldea's like on top of it?
Nah, man, they can't get the frame rates of a windmill down. They ain't doing that.
And then it's like the home base, the vantage point to view this is from Blueberry Academy.
You know why I can't see that happen? If they did that. It is literally Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's
like
true.
Literally, that's literally what you're saying.
So they're not against doing that.
Yeah, they're not against that at all.
They copy that stuff all the time.
But like I'm saying, you would have to. You would like because in Breath of the Wild, in Tears of the Kingdom, like the castle rises, like the whole thing rises up,
it doesn't.
And that changes the whole landscape of Hyrule. So I'm like, if in Pokemon, if it was just one set game, which it is. you would have to change all of Paldea after this DLC.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of that. I just mean like, I mean, I guess it doesn't.
Dusty just wants to see a turtle tear through cities.
If you get that big turtle to just shoot up, you know there's rumbling and stuff happening. If the land stays
nothing
exactly
changes,
the same, that is stupid.
Like, it's so dumb.
Well, I saw it. I had the vision. I was like,
it would be
maybe
epic,
that's why we're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Should we move into leaks?
It's leak time. Bye, people.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about leaks now. So yeah, if you guys are uncomfortable with leaks, thank you for watching, but we'll see you next week. Anyways,
perfect.
Yeah, I don't. So yes, hybrid. Like, what have you seen of the Pokemon leaks so far? Ku's been running around dropping some hints. The biggest thing that I've seen. The things that you guys can definitely fill me in, but the things that I have seen is that there is potentially going to be terraform, some sort of
not potentially.
There is apparently, but like
not potentially, yeah. Definitely.
I feel like the trailer. So I didn't know about the terraform thing. I completely forgot about his old riddles, and there's old riddles about Mega Evolution, this and that and stuff. I totally forgot about that. Just looking at the Power Ranger masks, I knew that there's gonna be terraforms. Like it was pretty obvious. But besides the terraforms and a Nintendo Switch 2, which I don't even think is a leak at this point, but like maybe I don't know. Besides that, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean that's
about it.
Basically it.
I mean, the only other thing was that he was asked like how many terraforms specifically, and he said a decent amount, which is promising.
Man. I got Soul's. Where did it go? I got his. Okay, you got his Skull Villains, getting on Glamora, Excalibur, Grafaier, Spinups, Veluza, the Dunsparce, Forever, right, bro? Right.
I'm
Dude,
curious.
That is pure speculation. I have no idea.
I know.
I'm curious if these are really going to work the same way and have like the same battle interface as the traditional terrestrialization forms. I wonder if this is going to be more like a mega form where it only works with specific Pokemon, or if it's literally. Yes. I guess that part would be definite. But like, is it going to be
G-Max situation?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it going to be a held item though? Could it be a held item? I kind of like the idea now.
I think it'll purely be like you have to collect like right now, if I catch a Lucario, it'll have the fighting Terra type, and if I want to change that to a water Terra type, I have to collect water Terra shards. I imagine that now, if Lucario were to get a Terra Max, as we'll call them, forms, I would have to collect Lucario Terra shards, or some kind of fancy name like Lucara Max Terra shards, whatever.
Even for me, like I think it's very like telling that like the starters just have their regular types. Like Nimona has like a Fire Skeletor's Terra type, and like in the long run, like I think that kind of harms the Pokemon because you lose immunity to a few types. But I think let's just say like I still imagine it to be like a type, but then with like a T factor or something. So like a Fire Skeletor, if it consumes a T factor, it gets like a terraform, something like that. I don't know. That's how I see it. But maybe you could be what you're saying.
I'm
imagining two types.
The terraform doesn't have the type. You're saying hybrid. So like the terraform could either be fire or ghost or any.
No. So I'm saying like let's just say it has a Skeletor that has a fire type Terra can go into a different form, but it just needs to consume what do they consume? What do they consume in the Isle of Armor? Like G-Max soup or something like that?
Yeah, it's soup.
Yeah, Max soup.
So something like that, right? If they consume that and they have a certain Terra type, with that combination of things, you get a new form. It's pure speculation. It's just what I would guess. But I think Lumi's idea is cool too.
What do you think would be like? Because like it's not just going to be an appearance change. So what do you think is like the I guess the difference strategically about them?
Could be an ability change. It could be. I don't know. It could be. It could be maybe if it is that they get dual typing and then they get double boost or something like that. That's gonna be super busted. I can't imagine them doing that. That is too broken. Right. If I have to,
I kind of can though because
it depends on the mons they give it to. Like they can't hand that to Kyogre.
Right. It's gonna be select amount of Pokemon, so like it's not all of them that are going to be busted. It's just going to be.
But then, see, the one thing I think people love about Terra is that it works so effectively with every Pokemon. Not like how it was at Z moves and like Dynamax. It like I guess Dynamax to a degree, but like it makes it so versatile and like so fun. There's an element of strategy. If you make it so that certain Pokemon get double type boost with the Terraform, every other Pokemon that gets a singular type boost is like invalidated, and it's not going to be. Pretty much the element of strategy would be a bit lost. I
would disagree with that purely because the main way Terra Steel is being played right now in VGC and in singles is that they're playing it defensively. Yeah. So like, yeah, I can Terra my Lucario into Fighting Steel and get an even bigger boost to both of his stabs. Basically, get him like an ability of adaptability, pretty much. But like, or I can Terra Lucario into a Ghost type so that this next fighting move does nothing and I get a free turn. Because that's the main way Terra's being played right now.
Yeah.
It does depend how much it's going to change the meta. Like, they probably don't... When they had it in mind, they probably weren't like, this is going to break the meta all over again. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of, like, if you're going to make a new form of a Pokemon, right? If we're going to get a completely new form, customize it. I would want them to almost like be like, so like if there's a Terramax Charizard or whatever we're gonna call it, it should have like two unique typings, maybe electric, maybe ghost, I don't know, and then the design should be based around that typing. That's one way to go, but then the other way to go is
giving Game Freak too many Charizard ideas.
Just like, whatever, yeah. but the alternative is what you're saying, Hybrid, where it's like both of those, or the design should be independent from the types, because what we saw with Gigantamax, a lot of the Gigantamax forms weren't even as good as their regular Dynamax forms, right? Because they changed too specifically. So it would be kind of cool if like the form change happens and you get maybe an ability boost or a stat boost.
It could just be that.
But then you can customize the type still.
It could just be that Terra Blast works differently.
Yeah, could be.
You know, like if they have a certain Terra form, like how a G-Max Charizard has G-Max Wildfire.
Yeah, that's true.
A Terramax Charizard could just have a different secondary effect with Terra Blast.
Are a lot of people using Terra Blast?
No,
but it's pretty common, and I've seen it run a decent bit in VGC specifically.
I wouldn't say it's that common.
When I say decent, I guess I should say more than I expected it to.
It's more so used on Pokemon like Sylveon, who has Pixelate as an ability,
right?
Where it, anyways, without the Terraform, it benefits the Pokemon because you can Pixelate Terra Blast. You know, a Pokemon, it's a Fairy type move, and Sylveon got stabbed on it. Or if it's a Pokemon that really comes through with it uses its Terra typing often and doesn't have any stab type moves then. But for the most part, you rather opt for another move.
The really common thing that I've seen it run on is, and doubles at least, just by watching like VGC, is Tyranitar and Arcanine, especially Terraflying Tyranitar. Terraflying Tyranitar, it is consistently run because Amoonguss is a very common Pokemon in VGC, so a lot of people can catch an Amoonguss off guard because an Amoonguss thinks it's safe against a Terraflying Tyranitar, but you know when it pops a flying move at that Amoonguss, it's not pretty. Also King Gambit, which also is usually run as Terraflying.
There's so many cool Pokemon that they added this game. I forgot about King Gambit. That's so cool.
I was thinking, just to go back to like what the effects could be, is if it could possibly be, this is just a random thought.
Yeah.
Like two Terra types. Like you can choose between two different ones instead of just having one. So like if you put a Pokemon out on the field, you don't know which type it's gonna be. Like people are planning that it's gonna be this type or that type.
Yeah.
You know? It could end up being like you can choose between fire or electric to terrestrialize in like on the spot there. That could be something. When we talk about like what Hybrid said, like he saw the masks first and thought that was already terraforms. We don't know for sure that those masks are like the Terra forms, but
we don't. Yeah,
it could be.
But they look like they have like a little Terra. Like the eyes look like they're made like a.
They're crystalline.
Right? Terra crystal. Yeah.
It's like a crystal visor.
So I have wondered. Go ahead, Soul.
I was gonna say it could be that like the Terra forms are Terra mask forms. Like everyone gets a mask kind of thing. So like Charizard gets a terrestrialized mask. Type kind of thing.
That's the thing that I've been wondering is like, is this just going to be a special hat? Like now, instead of the steel type axe that every Terra Steel gets, my Corviknight specifically will get a screw on its head instead or something, Or is this going to like actually change the Pokemon's appearance? Because way back when Who put his first riddle about Terramax forms, obviously, just for those watching, Terramax is not the term for them. At least we don't think it is. That's just a term that our friend used, and it's a really good term, so that's what I've been using. But shout out to Professor Cowrie. But if it is like the first thing that he put with the Terramax forms was like he put pictures of Pokemon that like actually did aesthetically change their appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, cool and beep ended up being real. So it makes me wonder, like, will my Charizard just get a new hat that is exclusive to Charizard, or will my Charizard take on a new appearance along with that new hat?
Yeah. All this talk about Charizard, and I forgot who. No. I
we
forgot
can talk about
who.
Blastoise.
No, I am. I'm about to because Toll, if I'm not mistaken, early on there was a leak that said Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur getting forms, right? And
Regional forms.
Yeah.
I think we still thinking that they mean Paradox forms?
I don't know. I don't know if that's something that will actually
because
happen.
the rest of that leak was true, right?
I'm forgetting
not
which
necessarily. It said
so.
the next region was Atlantis, and
yeah.
while this isn't, that's the kind of
it is.
It's debatable.
What's Blueberry Academy?
No,
but
he's right though. It kind of is.
It kind of is, but I don't know. If I was a leaker posting a leak 2 years ago, you'd think he'd hone in on Spain, not on one part of a DLC pack.
Because the code name of the game is Atlantis.
The code name of Area 0 is Atlantis. That's
perfect. This is pretty much area. If Terrapagos is the region, it's perfect.
I don't think that's true.
The question is, we don't know if it's real.
100%. And then also, people do put in false information or have information that they think is real that's actually false. Right? That's
it's
also
much more strategic to put Atlantis than Spain. Like from a point of view of not getting caught.
Yeah,
you're still right, and you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue though by putting he still gave enough information to if he's right, he's caught anyways. Why shy away from Spain if you're already teasing?
Because that's the
Atlantis and regional forms for Kanto.
You can say you didn't know.
Yeah,
and it was just imagination.
The thing about that leak is that it was very early. I forget when it was, but I think it was before Sword and Shield even came out, or like the year that Sword and Shield came out.
Do you have it?
Right.
Not on hand. No, I haven't even thought about that leak in a long time.
I think you should look into it. I want to look into it right now if I can. I don't know where it is.
We don't know if it's real or not. That's the problem with it.
I can't find it.
Questionable things in it, and then it also has things that are just like, wow, that's spot on.
Yeah, to me, like regional forms of Kanto starters is my automatic. Nah.
Is it though? Because if it was that early in development.
You don't know.
Bought regional forms, but maybe it isn't regional forms.
It was just Paradox.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Or it's like how this guy said Atlantis, but he knew it was Spain. Or maybe he didn't know, but he just again. I think that leak is like. I think there's a lot coming from it.
I think okay. Look, I still am leaning, and at this point, it's just for my own so I don't get my hopes up. I'm leaning no on this, but if I may, I think if this is real, I think he did mean regional forms, and I do think it is regional forms. And I think, Soul, you've pointed this out on Blueberry Academy's little promo art. There's missing starters, there's missing Pokemon, but you see the grass, fire, water elements.
Oh my gosh!
And imagine if it's a regional Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur.
Oh no!
And that is at Atlantis. That is at Atlantis.
Oh man, that's a new one. That's a new one. That's crazy.
Leak, yeah, the whole thing with that leak is that he who knows where this person was working. He could have just been working with that code name, and that's it. He didn't know anything else about the games, where it was or anything. It's just this is code name Atlantis. This is this area. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said about that whole thing.
No, but wasn't it? Am I crazy? Wasn't it that he actually got certain specific things right?
There was other things, yes.
There were some things that
we need to pull it up.
I think his stuff was debatable. One thing he said was that the legendaries would represent the Hands of Time, one representing past, one representing future, which definitely is the case. But he said one would have the power to go back in time and one would have the power to go forward in time. Unless that's in DLC.
The fact that this was all said, like in Gen 8 or before Gen 8, that's crazy. The fact that
people have been speculating this for forever.
I can't believe I can't believe we're like how you're guessing 3 years ahead. It's way I can't believe this is a debate. It's 3 years ahead. Like the fact that it's 3 years ahead and like it's still pretty. I could have easily said, Gen 9 India. It's gonna have to do with this, and that. It's gonna have to do with I don't know, northeast, southwest, something, and like...
And you could get one of those right, but the fact that they got like 3 or 4 things right, they got one thing wrong,
but they were pretty easy things, to be honest.
Pokemon
Past
easy.
and future.
It's the fact that it's in tandem with one another. Like, that is incredible.
Past and future has been speculated for so long in Pokemon.
Yeah, but not past. It could have been past and future in India. That would have been
if they're going to give regional
future in Atlantis. Past and future in
Atlantis is the perfect place for past and future because it's literally a past civilization with future tech.
No way. Who in their right mind would have said they're gonna have a region of Atlantis? Nobody would have believed. You would have went
speculating some crazy
you'd be
stuff.
like Atlantis doesn't even exist.
Exactly. You would have went Spain, Italy, Australia, India, China, Russia, everything. You would have touched before you went. The fact that he said Atlantis and still went through with it, people would have said that's a crap post and like shut it down immediately. Fact that he went with Atlantis tells me that he wasn't trying. He wasn't trying to do that. He actually had something going on.
Look, man. My dad always told me I'm hybrid. You'll learn. I'm from the South. My dad always told me
the very far
that the sun shines on a dog's butt some days.
Oh my god.
I need to find this leak, man. I'm
looking. I can't be that active, but I'm looking. Good God, that's funny. Is that the end of that story, Lumi? That's it. That's the lesson.
I get what he was saying.
No, yeah, he's saying
the sun shines on a dog's butt some days.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, if what is it? A clock is
it's
a
clock.
Thinker. What is it? A dead clock is twice a day.
Yeah. But this is not that, man. This is so far. This is so different from everything else.
We'll circle back in November and see. Not
November. Whenever we get Blueberry Academy or Indigo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It could be next year.
You know what? You know what's funny? You actually just crushed my dreams because my brain was going DLC, one in summer, one in fall, and then you were like, no, not November. My brain was like, what's he talking about? It's gonna be like, oh my god, he's right. Oh no,
that's the worst thing about all of this.
All right, I got it.
Okay,
thank God.
Let's do it.
Thank God.
Let's do it.
Shoot,
Atlas in Sword and Shield. Oh, you want me to send it to you?
No, but you talk.
Okay, the Atlas in Sword and Shield is the Gen 9 clue, but it's not Australia. It's going to be loosely based on Atlantis. Loosely based.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Two clues present in Legends Arceus. 2 clues present in Legends Arceus. Okay. A message in a bottle on the beach, which we never found. And a trident symbol in the professor's home. So I don't know but that... Okay, wait. So this was from October... This was from October 2021. Okay. So it was a long time. So
that would have been 4 months before Scarlet and Violet were revealed.
Yeah.
And 3 months before Legends Arceus came out.
So here's the thing. This is what I'm going to predict right now. There's probably a professor's laboratory in Blueberry Academy that has a trident.
No, but he said in Legends Arceus.
He said in Legends.
in Legends? Oh, okay.
So, what I was saying is the reason I brought it up is because it could be cut content. Like this stuff could have been cut.
There's a whole house. There was a whole. You know what was in Legends Arceus, right? The actual Diamond Pearl character's house was in the game, but you never got to go to it. There's still content, so they definitely cut things last minute for whatever reason.
The legendary Pokemon are the Hands of Time duo. One represents clockwise, the other anti-clockwise.
That is true.
Time travel between past, present, and future, which technically they came from the past or the present. They did time travel. Depending on the version, you will either go back in time or forward to stop the legendary sinking the island
Oh, which we have not seen yet.
That's not true yet.
The DLC. This
could be DLC.
Sounds like Blueberry Academy to me.
We've talked about going back in time, like in Area Zero. That could totally happen.
Yeah, this is the biggest one, but the easiest one.
I just don't think Koraidon and Miraidon could.
Yeah. You will have ancient and future forms of Pokemon.
That's
the fact that
in a past and future game, of course you're gonna have ancient.
It's pretty good to guess that. That's a very
that's like if I said the next game set in space, you're gonna have space Pokemon. Well, yeah.
But you get it along with Atlantis. The Atlantis is crazy. Keep going. Let's just see.
The Kanto starters get regional evolutions.
The
island is a water
interesting
paradise.
Evolutions, not variants.
Wait, it's like Legends, right?
Oh yeah, he does say that. Like evolutions, like they evolve.
So it would be
I said,
Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, but a regional variant for Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise.
The last line is.
That makes it a little more believable to me. That's a little less fan service.
It's a water paradise?
Yeah, that's the last thing.
So that's Blueberry Academy.
That's not a water paradise.
It kind of is.
It kind of
is. In the water.
What is it? The story includes the Dragon Paradise?
Dragon Palace. That's true.
Dragon Palace in the...
I think that...
I think he saw the DLC.
Yeah,
I think this is predicting the DLC, not actual Scarlet Violet. I think this is the DLC. I think this is a great. I'm glad I came on this podcast. I think this leak. Oh,
go make a video.
God.
I will say. This is my thoughts after hearing that. It could be something.
The sun is shining, man.
I will say. Is it on a dog's butt or in face? We don't know yet. But. I don't know. There's some things in it that I'm just like, I don't know. Like specifically the bit about I don't know. It is possible that Legends had cut content. They cut games and they cut it last minute. But it seems weird that they would cut 2 hints to I don't know. It just all seems a little.
It depends on. So it's all speculation, honestly. But it depends on like what was going on with the development of Scarlet and Violet and this DLC. Because to me, it sounds like this was maybe supposed to be in the base game, and then they actually pushed it and were like, you know what, we can use this stuff for the DLC.
You're gonna prompt all that talk of they're cutting part of the game and making us pay for it.
When it comes to that, but you know, it's not that. It's that they were making ideas. They were making the whole like game plan for the game, let's say, and this person was privy to some information and shared some of it.
We'll see. We get regional evolutions for the Kanto starters, and I will I'll take it all back. But to me, like that is that'd be so because I love the Kanto starters so much. That's a dream come true, man. So like to me, I'm I can't.
And we need more Charizard forms.
I can't believe it.
And you know they're gonna make a Charizard form one way, shape, or form. If this forms Charizard's involved, like
yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like people have said it so many times that they're not gonna do it. That's how that usually works. They're like,
so maybe there is a clip. There's a piece of gameplay or something in the trailer where they showcase a Magnemite that's got something on its head, and then there's a Mamoswine. It's like a silhouette of a Mamoswine.
Geodude.
What did I say?
You said Magnemite. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Like
there's a screw on it. That's where my thought came from, but it's Geodude.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Okay.
And then there's so I guess what I'm thinking is I don't know, maybe there could be some sort of connection where these new regional forms have to do with weather, or maybe they're artificially created. I imagine this Water Paradise and Blueberry Academy is going to be actually, maybe I got this from your video. I watched your video this morning, Lumi, where you said there's going to be these artificial biomes. Did you say that?
Kind of. So basically, you kind of have to go back to Urashima Taro to explain this. Okay. In Urashima Taro, in the Dragon Palace, there is a room where you can see the 4 different seasons. Spring, summer, winter, fall, and you can walk into them.
Yeah.
Well, if you look on that board that you're talking about with the Mamoswine and the Geodude, there is on that board a little region of some kind. I don't know where it is. But, and on it, you see some sun icons, which could represent spring or summer. Snow could represent winter. Rain could represent spring or summer. You could make an argument that sun is one, rain is the other. It'd work for both. And then there's wind, which could represent fall.
Yeah. So I think that's really interesting. That could be nothing. That could be something. But maybe these new regional forms aren't really. because it's like how could there be regional forms in like an artificial biome, right? But if it's a laboratory as well.
The big thing with that is we've heard some people like Eclipse or you know other people just say like there's more to the Blueberry Academy than what we're seeing, you know. Obviously there has to be like ways that we can catch Pokemon. There's probably going to be like a whole underground land.
Bro, yeah, there's no way it's just that tiny school. Like, where's the food coming from?
Exactly. Well, I think the school could be really big.
They straight up said that most of the Blueberry Academy is underwater.
Yeah.
Or is located under the
So
ocean.
this makes
there's
the
other
island is a water paradise, bro. Oh my god.
It does tie back with the Umashiro Taro story because the palace, Lumi, I don't know if you knew this, but in like all of your videos you don't say it, so I don't know if you did. But the 4 seasons is like what the palace is, not like the hotel, but you know, like it's like it has like 4.
The palace is just a Holiday Inn.
Each side of the palace has a specific 4 seasons attached to it, and it's like kind of epic. So yeah.
Right. Well, that was my logic.
Yes.
Hybrid's got his hand up.
So you know, I'm looking at the leak. I got the leak, right? Like, the Atlantis thing.
I didn't send it to you.
No, you didn't. No, I know. But like, it says depending on the version, you either go back in time or forward to stop this sinking. The legendary sinking. Stop the legendary sinking the island when awakened. What if that's just Terrapagos awakening?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
And it lifts Paldea up.
No, that is what you were saying, legit. And like, so
Dusty, maybe you get your cutscene. We just then have to travel back to stop that from happening.
No, that actually works because that way Paldea's not all shifted and like rumble. It's not like Tears of the Kingdom.
Dude, this episode's gonna blow up.
Oh shoot, dude! I did say too. I said in the video tomorrow where like I talked a little bit about Majora's Mask. One thing I even talked about was in Majora's Mask. At the beginning of the game, Link is teleported. Is everybody here familiar with Majora's Mask? Have y'all played that?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay, well, you know, at the beginning, he's teleported to right when the moon is crashing into it, and he has to time travel backwards to stop the moon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would work. That would kind of work with, if it is borrowing from Majora's Mask, and to be honest, I really think it is.
Yeah.
That would kind of work with it.
It seems like Pokemon has been borrowing a lot from Zelda games.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're successful. Why not?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, the more and more I think about it, like, so do you think there's space on that side for actual Kanto, for actual starters? Because if that's the case, Lumia might be right. That might, it can't.
He posted
hypothetically, if
so
there are
be anything, it could totally be the Kanto starters, which would be insane.
All right, look.
You know, actually, no.
I'll admit, y'all have me a little more sold on this. I'm still going to tell myself it's false. Just because if I go in going, I want regional Charizard, and I don't get it, I'm going to cry.
Guys, and if Kitakami is actually in Japan, that means it would border Kanto.
Oh my
which
God.
would make way more sense if there's...
I don't know about that one. I don't know
It would
about
border
if.
Johto.
Maybe.
The reason he's saying that hybrid is because the area of Japan that Kitakami is based off of is called the Tohoku region, which is like in real life it's called the Tohoku region, which is what the Pokemon world of Sinjoh, that is where that would be, is Tohoku.
Okay. Interesting.
It's interesting.
So if it's in Japan and it is geographically accurate, hypothetically, it is in between Sinnoh and Johto.
And when we talk about regional forms, I think it makes way more sense if you have a Pokemon that naturally travels just to like another part of, you know, wherever the landmass is. That just seems way more plausible to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Soul on it being just east of Paldea. I know people get upset about that, but I mean, you know, you can go cry over how Galar's upside down. I mean, it's not 1-to-1. It's Pokemon. I mean, you know.
Sorry, so what'd you say?
I was just saying, until something is confirmed, then all of the options are on the table to me.
Right.
So I don't say one way or the other. Like, it could be all the way in Japan.
Some ideas are better than others.
Yeah, hey, and Pokemon usually goes with the worst one.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
You might be right about that Terrapagos cutscene, bro. You might be right about it.
Dude,
Dusty's getting his turtle tearing through cities.
I would love that so much. That'd be crazy. But
I have one last question if you guys are thinking about ending or whatever. You were talking about the forms. Who do you think is going to get forms in general? I was really curious.
For the
regional
for the
forms or paradoxes?
No, for the Terra forms in general.
I think we've
Paladin
talked.
starters.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, there's some obvious ones like the Paldea starters. Yeah.
Right. I think those for sure.
I do think that there are a lot of Pokemon. We've discussed this, that there's a lot of Pokemon in Paldea that seem almost like incomplete, and I think part of that can be fine. I think a lot of Pokemon they don't need to turn into epic kaiju as like a final form, right? But there are a lot of Pokemon in Paldea that feel incomplete, like Scovillain. I know Soul has harped on that a lot. So yeah, a lot of Pokemon like that I could see them.
I just mean that Hybrid didn't like my list, so I was wondering maybe he might have some alternative.
Like your list? I never said that. I'm just like, oh, interesting list, you know? Like,
okay, it sounded like you were accusing me of.
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I never thought Orbeetle would be a Pokemon that could get like a good form,
right?
but then G-Max Orbeetle, I think is one of the best.
Garbodor.
Yeah, Garbodor ain't it, but like G-Max Orbeetle is like crazy. I think it's one of the best
It's
Pokemon.
really cool.
So I'm like, I have no clue.
What are some of your Pokemon your favorite Gen 9 Pokemon?
Where's the list, bro? I got
I
this.
know, because
I got his list. It's so good that you did that list before coming on.
Yeah,
I
think Gen 9 such a good like dex. I think it's a phenomenal dex. I'll tell you right now, I got Psychozar, Skeleturge, I got Palafin, Meowscarada, Iron Thorns, Excalibur, Quaquaval, Iron Moth, Great Tusk, Kilowattrel, Armored Ceruledge, Low Kicks. I got Iron Thorns here twice. Oh my god, I gotta fix
I saw that and I was like, alright, I guess he doesn't care about doubles.
Nah, then I messed up. Oh my god, I didn't see that. Annihilate, Roaring Moons, King Gambit, Tinkaton. I got Iron Valiant. Yeah, I got Iron Valiant. There's a lot of Pokemon. This is barely it, right? Like, I think a lot of the Paradox ones are still good. I think there's like stupid Pokemon like Orthworm, Bombardier, Bellybolt. I like all of them. They're all Gen 9 dex is really, really good if you ask me.
So which ones should get the Terramax form? And then I don't know. I actually, because part of me, I go straight to like they're gonna get new forms, but I don't think they're gonna get new forms. They're probably just gonna get a new hat.
Normal the fighting Tauros breed. Just the regular fighting Tauros breed. Because the Aqua and the Blazing one have something going on with them, but
yeah, it needs to. Whether it'll get one or not is a different question, but it needs to.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when they do these forms, they give them to Pokemon that you wouldn't expect. Basically, you're like, these ones need the forms, but that's not the ones they're gonna give it to. They're gonna give it to freaking Lucario and Charizard. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, like,
look, whoa, back up. Lucario got 1 Mega, and you acting like they always hand him stuff.
I mean, like, it's a popular Pokemon, so they gave it
Lugia
a Mega.
needs one.
You know what I mean? So, in Gen 9, they'd probably give these forms to Excalibur and Tinkaton. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Psychozar deserves a one too.
Ceruledge would be sick.
Palafin is honestly
there is that blue Psychozar.
No, not Palafin. If they give Palafin anything else on top of what it is, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
but Palafin needs to go into like the Deerling category.
Palafin gets a Terra form that's identical to the hero form.
Okay, yeah. If it's like you get Palafin, but you can't go to hero form with it, if base Palafin gets something, I'd be cool with that.
That's cool. Yeah.
But not hero form Palafin.
That's like it's corrupted. It's like villain arc.
Yeah.
Maybe
that'd be cool.
I always kind of took the shiny to be that.
What? I don't even know what the shiny looks like.
The shiny's like a dark purple, like almost black.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Well, Hybrid, do you have any questions for us?
I think I've been asking questions, but like I mean, basically like quick thoughts about like the DLC, I guess. Like around like how you maybe like just how you're feeling. Right? Just how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. I think Scarlet and Violet was fun. It was going into it, we kind of expected it to be like a lot more polished, and that was just a thing to get over. Like for me, I was like, I still play it. I pick it up and I go, this doesn't feel like great.
Pokemon.
It doesn't feel great. Like it feels like Pokemon, and it is fun to play. So I guess I want more. Whatever magic is in Area 0, I want more of that in the DLC.
Yeah.
You want the paradise.
The paradise.
The water paradise.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
with
Paradise
your regional
Protection Protocol, man. Paradise
I'm telling you,
Protocol.
this has to be.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about that until right now.
When we talk about it, this link is real.
I didn't even think about it. What in the world?
How did he get? That's such a specific word to use.
It is.
Explain it. Explain it.
What do you mean explain
Explain
it?
what?
To the viewers.
The leak said it's a water paradise. He's got Paradise Protection Protocol.
What is Paradise Protection Protocol? I don't know what that is.
That's
You
in
what?
Area Zero. That's in Area
Is that
Zero.
what
Do
it's
you
called?
remember?
That's
do you remember
the AI. It's Paradise
Oh.
Do you
Protection
remember when
Protocol.
you fight Sada and Turo and like they lose and then the system's overriding and then the Paradise Protection Protocol activates and they fight you again with Miraidon or Koraidon? That's what it is.
Here's
The
another.
first time you battle Sada/Turo, the second time you're battling the Paradise Protection Protocol.
I'll
What
even
if-
put.
what if-
I'll even
what if-
say that. Hold on 1 second, just to hold
Yeah,
that thought.
you're good. You're good.
Just to like put it in perspective, like I found this secret line that like literally skips by in like less than a second.
I saw that.
It goes-
I saw that.
it
I
goes
saw
by-
that.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
goes
it.
by and it says AI Turo doesn't want to
Doesn't
fight
want to
anymore.
fight. Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
AI Turo is not there anymore. So
Mhm.
it's like literally just Paradise Protection Protocol.
Wow.
Yeah,
Bro,
anyway.
and this is a turtle too. It's a water paradise.
What if the water paradise? Wait. So okay, two theories. One, the Blue Area Paradise does kind of look like Terrapagos. It looks it's like a round disc, obviously. But then
they all look like blueberries.
What if everything in the academy is just a projection and not real life?
I don't know about that one. How'd you get there?
Because he's thinking about
because it could be like it's projected by Terrapagos, or it's like the protection protocol. Whatever you call it.
Paradise Protection Protocol.
Like, what if it's all AI? It's like, I guess that wouldn't be a projection.
It is all AI. The Paradise Protection Protocol.
Something's gonna happen when we're
is
there.
it though? Is the Paradise Protection Protocol?
Oh,
I
you
think
think it's
I think it's Jock, bro. I need to see this guy. This guy's sus.
He's so about Jock being bad.
Yeah, 100%. I'm convinced.
What does Jacques do to you?
He's too innocent. He went to Area Zero. But he says he doesn't say a peep about it. No one mentions him. He's just there. I think Gita's a robot, and he's definitely like.
Wait, he went to Area Zero?
Yeah, I remember reading something about him going to Area Zero.
Wow. Oh.
He did on one of the first expeditions.
But he doesn't say a peep about it. And he has hexagon glasses.
Yeah, he does have. What's his name? The other art teacher is like. Jock has. Yeah.
Yo,
Jock has
Soul, did you know
hexagon glasses.
Did you know Soul's? Did you know Jock's Japanese name is Zinnia? I don't know this.
That's really cool.
That's kind of
No
epic.
Is that a
So Zinnia
coincidence?
confirmed for Blueberry Academy.
What's Zinnia's name? Is Zinnia's name Jock? That's gonna be quite.
Yeah.
That would be-
Zinnia's name is Rowan, and you're going to be
Shocking.
hopping around.
All right, I feel like we should. This is a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta get going too, but.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
Hybrid. One more question. So we were talking about this beforehand. What are your overall thoughts about leaks?
Oh,
I'm getting slandered by my friends for it. I'm backing off, but I think it's pretty nice. Not gonna lie,
Your friends, your buddies are what, the Champions League. You can
bro.
call
They
them
keep,
out.
yeah, they keep calling me up.
That's funny.
So
But don't they keep up with Antipoke leaks?
Yeah, but Annie
What's
Poke,
the
What's the
difference?
difference?
Annie Poke sucks. Games are like everyone cares about the games more.
I don't get it. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I get
Well,
it.
what do
because-
you think? What do you? I mean, we like leaks, obviously. I think we have fluctuating opinions, but it's interesting to hear what our guests have to say about them.
I like them. I'm probably not gonna keep up with them, just because I talk to these guys on a weekly basis, and I don't want to actually risk spoiling them.
Right.
I see. Okay.
I feel like you
and-
never do, but they always think that you're going to.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, but
they're like, "That's a leak," but you're like, "No, that's not a leak."
I'm just
every time I'm
naming
watching,
Fuecoco.
every time I'm watching, I just want to defend you, but I can't. I'm like,
It's
"You didn't
all
say
good.
anything."
it's all good. It's all good. But like, it's that, and also like, I feel like if I get into leaks, I'm not I start to make leak content, which I want to steer away from. I want to make evergreen content rather than leak content. So I think overall, as much as I like it, I think it's just smarter for me to stay away from it. But see, talking about stuff like this, where it's like a leak from 2001.
Yeah.
It's like, that's 2001. Holy crap, 2021.
Imagine.
2021. This was pretty fun. This is pretty cool. I think I think we're onto something, boys. I think we're onto something personally. But
For real, yeah. I think
Yeah.
there's a balance. I feel like leaks for so long weren't actually leaks. They were just like rumors.
Yeah.
And it's kind of turned into a thing where we have a couple sources that are like pretty definitive.
I think Ku is like absolutely definitive.
A couple. We've got one who is absolute.
The bottom line with Ku is he's not going to give anything away until like really late. Like it's
or until we get a Kaka situation. But
yeah, but that wasn't good.
Someone send Ku the 4chan image. It has to if it's real.
He'll disprove it or not disprove. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
So can you send it to him? Just send it to him. No context. Just send it to him.
Yeah. So Hybrid, really appreciate you coming on, man. This was great. Long time coming.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. It was a lot of fun.
It's like old friends, you know.
Yeah, that's how it feels like. Yeah, Hybrid. Let them know where they can find you.
Oh, man, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitter as the HybridHero, but I'm not active. Well, I'll wait till I get consistent. But you can find me on YouTube for now.
Love it. If you guys are still watching, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on, please get the merch. Get the merch. Everyone loves it. Mine's in the mail. It's coming. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Bye.